when summer's there and you start two-a-days, there's a lot of grumbling. You hate the coach, don't you? You talk about him. You may not hate him, but you talk about him. What are we doing here? They come in, they have a new playbook. We got to learn new plays. We didn't have to. We already memorized the plays from last year. Why are we learning new plays? There's a lot of grumbling. But at the end of the season, when you're holding the trophy, when you're marching downfield, whether it's basketball or football or whatever sport, it starts to get sweet, right? It gets that kind of sweet you can't describe. Folks start calling your name. Folk know you when you walk around. They see you in your jersey. They recognize you. They ask you, hey, you ready for that game against Central this up and coming week? What's going to happen? People you don't even know are vested in your success. But the thing that gets lost in all of that is the grumbling. So I was sitting here and I was listening to our cappers, and I realized, because see, we see 300 or 400 of y'all. Y'all just see 3 or 4 of us. We hear the grumblings. We hear the grumblings about Tyra. We hear coach too tough. Why we got to run extra? Why we doing 2-a-days? We hear them. And why don't we get someone else? We don't get someone else because he wins. Because we believe in you. And there are days and sometimes that we believe in you more than you believe in you. And it's hard to push a person in a direction of success. There are times we have these classes and they're empty. And then we have the complaints. Hey, the MCA department, what's going on there? They're not going to Y'all need to respect and appreciate Keisha. Her department's the backbone. She doesn't get a lot of credit for what she's cleaned up, for what she deals with on a daily basis. Y'all need to stop by with flowers, stop by with a card, or just a thank you. Because these people are the backbone. Where's Cindy at? Cindy been here 10 or 12 years. Feels like Cindy's been here longer than we have. Right. But our staff, the stuff that they do on a day in and day out basis, the stuff they have to put, it ain't easy dealing with 400 folks. You all know that. Don't look to your right, don't look to your left. Because the person on your left is hard to deal with. And that's just one. We got 400 and something. I often say, I don't know how Pat does it. I don't know if she closed her office and drinks. Try to curse y'all out, but that's me. But I want you guys to think about this. It's hard to push this ship through the water. And there are some days that everything we're doing is built on the belief that we believe everyone in this room can be successful. There is not one person in here who can't wear a cap, can't go to Paris, can't send their kids wherever they want to go, can't live the dream. And some days it's harder to convince you of that fact, about your success. But we've always believed. And we put our money where our mouth is, we put our resources where our mouth is, and our commitment where our mouth is. And so I want you guys to remember that. When you hear someone talking about one of our staff, one of our leaders, someone speak up and say, you know what? That person helped me and it was pivotal to my success.
That's right. Jason is not that bad.
Y'all that talked about me, I don't care. I got thick skin, but they don't deserve it. That's the first thing. Every blue moon, I get to do something off script and I don't even consult my partners, and this is one of those blue moons. Pat, you ain't gotta be afraid. This is good. I censor myself. So it's a new rule. We're gonna call it Jason's rule since it's been 11 years. J rule. The first one, J rule. There you go. Every capper wears their cap to team meeting.
Oh, okay.
See, for the new people, y'all think there are only 4 of these people. You get what I'm saying?
Cappers row.
And so, what I want to see is every capper wearing their cap. I don't care if you capped 2 years ago, 4 years ago. Yes, if you got 4 caps, bring 4 caps. Put a little 4 next to it.
Cappers row.
So, that's the first thing. And when you see a capper, ask them how they did it. because it's easy to always believe they wore a cap. But you need to have a conversation about where you're at, so that and help them. They'll tell you, I was right there. Right there.
Or below.
Or below, yes. What you got, I would have traded my hand for your hand today. That's a good hand. I love Mark because Mark didn't have a car. He capped without a car. I don't think Lucille, she was helping a client. Lucille's mama drove her around for half a year, and she capped. Folk have been sick in cap. Folk have had death in cap. Twins in cap. We're going to get the twins a cap.
Worked at second job.
Folk have worked second and third jobs. You know, I'm transitioning. That's why I can't cap. Bull crap. Folk have capped in every scenario. Folk have come out of the gate year one and capped. Folk have capped twice in a year. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
And we're so focused on where we're at that we don't realize that we got everything we need. That's the one thing I came away from Bible study this past week. It was this message that, hey, God gave you everything you need where you're at right here, right now, today, to do whatever it is you need to do. The rest of it you'll pick up on the pathway. But you got to get up out of your seat and start moving towards the goal that God put in your head. So Jason's rule from this point forward, everybody wears a cap. Everybody who has a cap wears a cap. Because I want to see in the next 3 or 4 months just how full this room is with caps.
Yes.
For those who are new, the cap is one of our top honors. The red cap is first, and I think Jamal was talking about the black cap. We have a white cap for
Third.
right 3. So 1 is red, 2 is black, white is the blinged out cap, bling or white cap. We need to figure out the one. We need to come up with a hierarchy for 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's like the Masons. Everybody knows
The blink, blink,
you got a
bling
pink
cap. The blink, blinkety, bling cap.
Pink cap. Well, my point is, and wear it as often as you like in the office. If you got the cap, wear the cap. I have a buddy of mine. I went to University of Florida. We won multiple championships, national football. He was co-captain of the team. He has 2 rings. I used to say between the 2 of us, we got a ring each. That was averaging out. My kids remind me that Mr. Dexter got 2 rings, I got 0. That's fine. Between the 2 of us, we each got a ring if you average it out. But he never wore them. He never spoke about them. And it was just the oddest thing. And so he wasn't getting, he went for when he went for job interviews, he wasn't getting picked. And I said, wear your ring. In Florida, there is nothing higher than a Gator football ring that says championship on it.
The Dolphins never won.
Yeah, because Dolphins never wear one. But my point is, he started wearing his rings, and suddenly the doors open. He earned that. So you earned your cap. Ain't nobody been given a cap except me. And I stole mine. But wear it so that you can inspire everybody else. Is that fair?
Yes.
All right. Now, that's not what I got up here for, but I was listening to the testimonies about T. Y'all don't know how folks talk about T. Y'all don't know how they talk about me. Y'all don't know talk about the MCA department, everybody else. I think everybody gets talked about with Pat. And I think y'all just get Pat. We love Grandma. So they talk about us.
Grandma.
That's our inside, the ownership group. That's Grandma, wherever Grandpa went. That's the way they talk. Anyway, respect our staff, embrace our leadership, thank them for the job they're doing. If there's something that's not happening, figure out what's not happening on your side of the table.
That's right.
And then kindly tell us, hey, I think there may be an issue on your side. We're committed to changing all that stuff. Wear your caps. Those who don't have a cap, find somebody to, hey, Tanisha, can I take you to lunch so I can figure out how you got your cap? That's the type of conversations we want to have. So, with that being said, everybody got a piece of paper. We just spent a lot of time on this, coming up with a new program. we have a couple things. One of the things I joke about every time I come in here is we're gonna have to start renting out FedEx Field. When we first got this room, we were like, we gonna be able to fill this room? We had a room back there. Y'all don't remember that because they reconfigured the first floor, but that seemed like a huge room. We filled that. This one's bursting at the seams. So we are growing. And part of growth is becoming dynamic with the people you have and doing new things. And so we have some new programs we've come up with. The first one is each one does one. See, the problem with only having this much space is we can only fit so many chairs in this much space. And so we're at capacity. We're sold out. All these seats are taken. But see, next year, we gotta start making room for people who wanna run. And so next year, we're all running. And the way we're gonna do that is just like the beginning of football season, or basketball season. First thing you do, right? They get you out there running. You don't touch a football for like 3 weeks. You're just running. Different ways of running. I didn't know there were so many ways to run. But that's all you do it. We've established that each one does one program. What that means is, unless you're brand new, everybody repeat after me, unless you are brand spanking new.
Unless you're brand spanking new.
We obviously recognize that there's a timetable for you getting your business up and ramped. That's why we have great coaching and leadership to help you do that. But unless you're brand spanking new, the cost of the seat you sit in is 1 transaction a quarter. Actually, it's 1.5 transactions a quarter. So each one does one is just that. Everyone's got to do a transaction. Everyone. And now, for those of you, some of you are sitting there like, well, duh, yeah. No, I can go in the other room and print out a report and come in here and just, it's November. We take out the new people. I still got a multi-page report that says, hey, folks owe nothing. Problem is they still eat chicken. For those of you who haven't been here long enough to talk to someone, they'll tell you what that one means. So each one has to do one. Now the reason we made it 1 is because 1's easy. It's either 1 or 0. 1 or 0. Pick a number. Now the Bible, we realize that human beings aren't the brightest people. The Bible, in one part of it says, hey, I put before you life and death. Now, even God knew we were stupid, because he came back and said, hey, psst, in case you're wondering, choose life. Here's a hint. Choose life. So in case someone here is wondering, 1 or 0, choose 1. Call your mama, call your sister. Once you get one bit of success around you, then you get more. But being at 0 in anything enables mediocrity. We're no longer in that business. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Now, to help everyone, we came up with a new program called the KWPP Agent Mentorship Program. What we recognize is not everyone's good at every part of a real estate transaction. Do you all realize that if you break a real estate transaction down, there are like 192 steps?
Yes. Yes.
I didn't realize that. If you break brain surgery down, there are only like 54 steps. To put that into perspective, launching a rocket from NASA has less steps than what y'all go through. The point being is there are a whole lot of things that go into a real estate transaction, and some people are naturally good at one and not as good at the other. And so one of the things we decided we wanted to do is create a mentorship program where you could figure out where you needed help on a per transaction basis and then seek the help. Now, for those of you who are new, you're excluded from this because we have a whole program set up to take you through every single aspect of the real estate transaction, right? And help you to excel. These are for the agents that have been here for a while, and maybe they stepped away with their job and are stepping back in. Maybe you've just been doing the same thing every year. You say, I've been here 10 years, but in reality you've been here 1 year and you're just doing the same thing 10 years in a row, but the game hasn't elevated. So we put this together. So I want to run you through this right quick. You got a page You got 3 or 4 pages. We're going to have follow-up meetings. We wanted to introduce it today. The whole purpose of the program is to pair experienced agents with other agents who are seeking assistance with their business. We've broken down the transaction into multiple phasing, pre-listing activities, pre-listing appointment presentation, post-listing activities, the marketing of the listing, and reviewing the offering contract. We've established a commission share structure for the mentor and the mentee. What that does is that person is able to invest in your success and invest the time. This is no way, shape, or form to replace our culture. Our culture is, if you have a question and you ask one of your fellow agents a question, they answer the question. We're all here to help each other. What this is meant to say is there are areas where you may need someone to walk you through it, show you how to do it, commit the time. And this is meant to put it on both parties to say, no, I am committing to helping you with this part of your transaction, making sure that it gets done. That means I'm going to do it and show you how to do it. Does that make sense? It's on a per transaction basis because you may find, hey, in this area I want Anthony to help me, but in this area I want Desmond to help. On this transaction I want Desmond to help. Does that make sense? You can pick one transaction, it doesn't matter. You can kind of figure out who you want to help you at different phases. It's not renewed automatically, it's one transaction. We've created a list of qualifications for the mentors. So if you want to be a mentor, and you'd like to apply to be a mentor, on the final page, on the 4th page, and the 5th page,
First page.
there's an application. We have some details. We ask for some background on you. We're going to do an interview, figure out what your personality's like, get the disc done, figure out what your specialty is. We have some baseline qualifications we'd like to see people. We want you to tell us if you have any special designations. We want you to be a Bold alumni, an Ignite alumni, a Capper, and a family reunion attendee. Then if you look at the bottom, these are the categories we're asking people, hey, are you great at pre-listing activities? Are you great at a buyer listing appointment, post-listing activities, marketing the listing, etc., reviewing the offering contract? We have broken down on pages 2 to 4 all the things that the mentor is agreeing to do. So if a mentor agrees to do number 1, under number 1, there's a whole list of stuff that you can expect this mentor to do. That's what, and you just see the reason it doesn't have little dots, the reason it doesn't have little dots in front of it, it has a little dash, is so you could go down and check off, okay, help me prepare buying listing, check, did that. Assisted me with preparing my listing, check, did that. That's why we put the little place for checkpoint. That way everybody's on the same page. There aren't any a la carte deals, that, special backroom deals. We are taking the responsibility for anyone who goes through the mentor-mentee program for making sure that everything is done. If you have a problem with the mentee, you come back to mentor, you come back to us. Now you make a deal in the bullpen, some side deal, don't bring it to us. We can sanction that. Does that make sense? We're ensuring that folks get paid, that the mentor gets paid for his contribution. We're making sure that everything gets done in a certain way. At the top of page 2, we list the percentages as well as going down. So if you're helping with pre-listing activities, buyer listing appointment, and post-listing activities, 25%. If you're helping with marketing and listing, 15%. If you're helping with reviewing the offering contract, 10%. Now, for those of you all who say, well, you know what, I like Anthony for pre-listing activities, but I really like the way Tanisha does her marketing, her listings, and I really like the way Tracy Goings does reviewing the offering contract. You can employ all 3 of them on the same transaction. You get what I'm saying? It's just they're separated. Once one gets done with one, they're done. until settlement. So the whole purpose is to build, to help people build a team. Right now, we have a lot of agents who are out there by themselves, and Emmerich put it perfectly. You're really just one relationship away from your success in anything. One relationship. And so this is meant to build a team. Your team. You pick who's on your team to help you. And we put together something that makes them committed to your success. We're going to be rolling this out. We're rolling it out. We're taking applications. So anyone who's interested in terms of the mentor, we first got to get the mentors to sign up. I was trying to assign it to Pat, and Pat was like, I think you should teach leadership on this one, Jason. So if you're filling out a form, go ahead and either slip it in my mailbox or scan it, and actually scan it and email it to me. That'd be the best thing for one of our scanners, because that'll be the quickest way. And then we'll get it in motion. Premier. Okay, give me 1 second, I'll get you. We're also going to come up, we're amending our referral information form. We're going to amend one and create a mentor-mentee, but it'll be similar to this, so that everything's in a piece of paper before the transaction occurs, so that everyone knows what they're getting into. And once we get our mentors on, hopefully we'll be able to announce our mentors at the next team meeting, and then from that point forward, start moving, all right? Come January, every week we're going to post a list of agents that have sold at least one house. This is like the old-time country churches down south. The doors of the church are open. Is there one? They don't ask for 468, they just ask for one at a time. So every week, you'll see your name. You'll see who sold houses. And just to make the list, it's one. You're not on the list, it's one. Who said? We're making things real simple, real black and white for everybody. This life, Paris ain't for everybody. Morocco ain't for everybody. But it's for everybody here. You guys get that?
Yeah.
We believe everybody here can send their kids there. And we're betting on that. We're going to bet heavy. Any questions? We have one question or comments?